What do you think of right off the bat when somebody says to you, hey, let's go to the crafts fair? I know, too many doilies, too many potholders, and too many laminated Bible verses. Well, guess what? You're in for a real treat because we're going to introduce you to one of the gems of the Adirondacks. It is the Essex County Arts and Crafts Fair. And I promise you, there's not a laminated thing in the entire show. At the Essex County Fairgrounds in Westport, New York, artisans get busy displaying their wonderfully eclectic creations. This is a one-day each, but twice a summer exhibition of the creative genius of Greater Essex County. Brand new last year, the Essex County Arts and Crafts Festival is flexing its wings this year to see if it has a future. Organizer of the festival is retired college professor Charles Russell.
The artists make up an important part of the economic base of the county, and these people work in small towns. They have limited opportunities. If we can provide the opportunity where they can show their work and sell their work, that's helping the economy of the county, and that's why we're here at the Essex County Fairgrounds. This is a volunteer organization. We do enough work to get the artists out and the public to them.
Let's meet just some of the creative people that Charles has managed to coax out of the surrounding wilderness. Now, Randy's my new best friend here. He's an artist, but with a twist. Really interesting idea. Look at all these paintings that he has on his table. You do this, don't you?
Yes, I do.
How do you do it?
I start at one corner and paint as it goes along until it's created sort of a scene that in the beginning, the story is untold. And by the time I get to the end, the story has been told.
So there's a story in here that's in your mind that reveals itself in this particular painting. That's really interesting. But what's even more interesting is that you can buy this, take it home, and this can be the primer for you and your children to make up a story as they go along, starting in whatever corner. Right?
Absolutely, and you can make a story to go with it, or anybody can make a story to go with it. The story has actually been untold, so it's up to the person that's showing it to the child. You just let the children see it. They'll come up with their own questions, I can imagine.
Now, of course, what would a crafts fair be without a little bit of knitting? And here you are, a little bit of knitting, with a little sign inside that says, I wanted to knit you a sweater, but I didn't know your size. Photographs by Michelle Zelkowitz, and then what she does with them to make you look close, I mean really close, at the patterns in nature. Now, my friend Kathy has just handed me a bunch of old telephone wires. Back in the day when telephones had wires in them, and when you talk to a friend across town or across the world, your voices went back and forth across telephone wires. Well, we don't use wires anymore, do we? But my friend Kathy does. Check this out. Here are the telephone wires, and this is what my friend Kathy makes out of them. You weave this?
I weave it on a floor loom.
Out of telephone wire?
Out of telephone wire. Well, I love working with color.
Yeah, no, it's gorgeous. You're very talented.
And no two turn out alike.
And then there is Eric Bright. Just another guitar player, you say? Oh my, no. You see, Eric made the guitar he is playing. Made all the guitars you see here, all of them, of wood that he salvages. Are you ready for this?
They not only come from local woods, but especially the tops come from the bottom of Saranac Lake. They're old logging logs that sank 150 years ago. They've been underwater for 150 years. This is a machine with moving parts. A good guitar has moving parts. I mean, cells move in it that make it a good sounding guitar. That's all part of what makes this an exceptional guitar.
There's just not enough time in this segment to do Eric's skills justice, but I promise you we will visit Eric again and see his studio and some of the other instruments that he makes.
Well, by all indications, this year's festival has been a huge success. If you're interested in coming or interested maybe participating as an artisan, check out their website over the next winter. It is EssexArtsandCrafts.org. And you never know who you might run into at the Essex County Arts and Crafts Festival. For people near here on Mountain Lake Journal, I'm Derek Muirden. Luke, I am your father.
People Near Here on Mountain Lake PBS is supported by Valcor Brewing Company.